And hi everybody, welcome into the Penn Manor High School, and we are ready to go. Some girls basketball action. The Hempfield Black Knights at 6-4 taking on the Penn Manor Comets, first game of 2020 for these girls basketball squads. My colleague tonight, familiar face, Colson Hunt. My producer, another familiar face, Lance Kim. The gang is here and we're ready to go for what should be a fun one from the Penn Manor Gymnasium. This Hempfield team on a bit of a roll as of late. Which we'll get into more in a second.
The diagnosis was shocking to the family shortly after discovery. She underwent several brain surgeries. Angelica received 30 radiation treatments and many rounds of chemo. She was only 8 years old at the time, and she was proved doing well despite facing many challenges. The challenges were brought on by harsh treatments, and now, two years later, she's doing lots of therapy and is getting straight. She continues to fight, and she's truly is a hero. Please help in the fight against childhood cancer by donating Minithon. Kids will be walked around by JD. Thank you.
We love to see that there from Penn Manor. And we introduce the starting lineups here in just a second.
Good evening. Welcome to Penn Manor High School for this evening's Legacy 11 League basketball contest between the Black Knights of Hempfield and the Comets of Penn Manor. The Legacy 11 League encourages spectators to cheer and support their respective teams in a positive manner and not to cheer negatively against their opponent. Abusive language, negative gestures, and taunting directed towards players, coaches, or officials is prohibited, and letters may be asked to leave the gymnasium. Your cooperation is greatly appreciated. And now, the starting lineup for the
Alrighty.
Hempfield Black Knights.
Black Knights, let's see what they can do here on the road. The junior Jess Weinholt gets things kicked off. Sophomore Bryn Axe new to the starting lineup. Lindsay Dakota, the rock-solid senior for the Knights. And Autumn Cook, the sharpshooter. Joined by Lauren Muffet, and those are your starters for Hempfield. Familiar cast of characters there. And now for Penn Manor. Kimmy Miller, number 15. Morgan Miller. Emily Riggs is the first starter, number 10. Ella Hart, the lone senior on this team. And Sydney Shepos. Alrighty, Colson. We'll get to the national anthem in a second, then I'll bring you in for the first time tonight. Alrighty, Colson, so as we crest upon the midway mark here of this season for the girls basketball team, they're in a position that not many people going into the season expected them to be in. 6-4 right now, undefeated in Section 1 play, and a win tonight would keep them in a tie for first place with Cedar Crest, who they'll have a huge game against on Tuesday at home. So I know for you, being part of the very successful boys volleyball team, my question to you tonight to start things off is it's easy for Hempfield to look ahead to the big week they have next week against Cedar Crest and Township. How can they make sure they don't overlook and lose maybe a trap game to the Penn Manor Comets tonight?
Well, yeah, it's very important, especially because Penn Manor is the underdog in this one, that Hempfield stays on the gas the whole way. They know they can win this game, but they have to execute, and that will build up confidence and momentum to go into that really tough Cedar Crest matchup next week. So really just controlling the game and playing their own style of play is what's going to help Hempfield in the coming games here.
Hempfield gets the opening tip-off. Autumn Cook out to Bryn Axe. We talked about Axe getting the start tonight. It had been Lauren Riggs there before, but the sophomore gets the opportunity. Cook inside. Moffitt trying to corral it and can't quite do it. Taken away by Kimmy Miller. And there's Dakota getting right in front of it. And I'll tell you what, Lindsay Dakota, so much change going on around her, it seems like, during her time in this Hempfield girls basketball team. Looks like she's finally got a lot of great teammates around her that are maybe as good as she is, but she's always kind of been the rock-solid part of this team.
Yeah, and that's going to be really tough for Penn Manor. That's going to be a key for them, is controlling the paint and around the foul line where Lindsay Dakota is most effective, because she has the experience to beat anybody down low.
Yeah. Number 10, Emily Riggs, out to Hart. And as we mentioned, for Hart, lone senior on this team. That's kind of a theme with both these teams. Very young cores. Hempfield, of course, the two starting freshmen we've talked about this season, Cook and Moffitt, the sophomore Axe. And Penn Manor has 3 sophomores. Their 3 leading scorers are all sophomores, including 2 of their starters, Morgan Miller and Sydney Shepos. So maybe it's just a theme for these young ballers tonight. Scoreless through a minute and a half. And Moffitt tried to set up Dakota over the middle, but it gets picked off by Shepos there.
Hempfield looking a little sloppy offensively. Defensively solid, but offensively the passes have not been connecting. Well, they've been connecting, but not to the right color.
Yeah. Not what you want to see for the Black Knights here on the road. As we said, first league game for this team actually in quite a while, since Conestoga Valley. And with that, we'll kind of give you a recap of what's happened with this team since we were last here. Lebanon, when they played Lebanon at home on December 18th, they played against Conestoga Valley that following Friday, got a dominating victory, 46-19, the final score in that one. Great defense from the Black Knights. The following day, they played Wilson in a non-league game, kept it close most of the way throughout, got down double digits late and almost brought it back, but ultimately the Bulldogs held on and snapped that 5-game winning streak with a 48-40 win. Then they went up to State College, played in the tourney there against State College, lost 37-27, but then in the consolation game against Friary Charter, put on an absolute clinic, as there's Dakota getting to the net for the first time tonight. Put on an absolute clinic, Colson. This is not a typo. 53-8 was the final score of that game. Not a single field goal allowed from the Black Knights, all of their points coming from the line.
That's incredible defense from the Black Knights in that match.
Way to avenge that 37-27 loss from the night before. Now that brings us to where we're at now, a 6-4 overall record. And the Comets, they sit at 3-6. So if they want to make any sort of league run, now's the time as we really get into the start of league play to get that turned around. Outside to Riggs, who's looking, and we'll get to the net. So Emily Riggs, the first one to get on the board tonight for Penn Manor. And now Autumn Cook will take it up. And we know Cook can shoot it, and Dakota try, looks like, to get it in there to Moffitt, and I believe it was Shepos again in there, just getting right in front of it. Pretty sloppy passing so far from the Black Knights to this point. Got to clean that up.
Yeah, they got to slow it down. They're trying to rush here, and it looks like they're trying to get some quick buckets, but that can't be how they play. They have to really control the time and possession of this game.
Yeah, no doubt about that. We've talked about, I think, on every basketball broadcast we've done, boys and girls. That's always been Hempfield's MO, controlling time possession. But so far, they're not doing a great job of that. Here's Riggs with a travel, and that'll give it back to Hempfield. It was Autumn Cook over there blanketing her and forced Riggs into the error. Cook will take it up. What a season she's had. And trying to get the steal there. It looks like being fouled on the way. That was number 22, and that is, as I said, the lone senior Ella Hart trying to cut it off from Bryn Axe. But not quite successful. So here's Axe. Out to Cook. Inside. High ball. Caught. But before the basket went down, it's a travel on Moffitt. And those are 2 points that Hempfield probably wanted to get. They're not going to get.
I think Moffitt was expecting some contact there.
Yeah.
And it never came.
Yeah,
She landed and realized, yeah, that's a travel.
Yeah. Moffitt's cooled down a little bit on the scoreboard past couple of weeks. Or past couple of games, I should say. And there's a 10-second violation. Penn Manor couldn't get it across midcourt in time. Great job by Hempfield there on the full court press to force that error. But even though Moffitt has been relatively held off the scoreboard for the most part, she still plays a big role in this team defensively and still provides that big presence in the paint, standing in at 5'10". And Dakota now guilty of a travel. Man, bit of a sloppy start here for both these sides.
That's the 4th travel called this game, I think. That's a lot, considering we're only a couple minutes in.
Yeah. 4:15 to go in this opening 8-minute quarter. Only 4 points to show for it. Here's Hart. Pitch it out to Miller. Back to Hart. Dakota on her there. Now there's Shepos. Gonna drive. Won't get there, and it will go out. Looks like off of a Hempfield or a Penn Manor, no, Hempfield player, so Penn Manor will retain possession of that. A lot of bodies down there on a very compact area, just trying to either get a rebound or get a score. And we'll have our first substitution tonight. Sophie Herman comes in, the senior, for Lauren Moffitt. Shebo's gonna take a shot off the rim, but rebounded by Riggs, who then had Dakota all up in her face, and she gets it away. Nice job. Great defense there by Hempfield. And then Weinhold all the way on the other side, and it bounces in. Just Weinhold had time maybe to set up a campfire there before that ball could get over to her, and she's able to put it through to give Hempfield another early lead. Nice drive, though, and a foul on Morgan Miller, who leads Penn Manor in scoring this season, averaging just under 12.5 points a game, is the sophomore.
Hempfield this game isn't going to be too concerned about the three-pointer. Not many Penn Manor players try to even take it, but Morgan Miller is their one shooter. She has 13 on the year.
Yeah. Maybe it's something about the number 21.
Yeah.
you got Miller wearing number 21. She's got 13 on the year. Cook has 11 on the year. Nobody else in the Hempfield team has more than 2, so she's definitely the big shooting threat. And Miller sinks it to tie. Weinhold gets the rebound and pitches it out to Dakota. Got to be careful not to get a 10-second violation of your own there if you're Hempfield, and they get it out. Dakota look to drive, and then another travel. Man.
They are not letting them play here.
I don't know if it's the refs that are maybe a little more strict on calling it than we're used to, but that didn't look too far out of the ordinary there. Obviously, we don't have the benefit of instant replay to take a look at it readily available to us, but wow. Nice job by Arthur getting her own rebound, and then Riggs off the rim. And it's Weinhold there to clean up. And now Cook off the break. Back to Axe. Back to Weinhold, and they'll work the key. Weinhold inside, Herman. Or no, that's Axe actually. Back out to Weinhold, back to Cook. We'll take a shot from just inside 3, and it doesn't go. And now there's a fight for it down there. Dakota trying to get it away, and see who they give it to. They'll give it to Penn Manor there. As Dakota was trying to get down and get scrappy to get the ball, but no avail there. Riggs will bring it up. Evelyn Weaver has subbed in for Penn Manor. She's going to take it up to Shepos. Back to Weaver. with Axe all over her, and Axe able to push her out of bounds there before she could pass it back inside.
It's good defense using that baseline as a sixth defender.
Yeah, basically. Nice job there from the Black Knights, and Weinhold has really come on. You know, she wasn't in the starting lineup originally, which was a bit of a surprise because she was a starter last year as a sophomore for at least part of the season. Was part of that girls soccer team, as were a couple other players on this girls basketball team, but didn't start day one. Now she's locked down a pretty permanent starting role on this squad. Lauren Riggs also came in. She came in Cookstead, and Dakota trying to find a way to get another steal there. She's already had a couple tonight. Couldn't quite corral it in bounds. Here's Hart. Looking to Weaver. Back inside to Hart. To Shepos. He'll try and put a move on Dakota, but Dakota not easily fooled. She's going to try that same strategy as beforehand. And it was Sophie Herman who got there and put a little bit of contact there to get the ball out and out of bounds. And so far, it's been a very defensive-heavy first quarter. 4-4 is the score with under 2 minutes to play.
Right now, what's interesting to see is that Hempfield has what seems to be a more experienced lineup in there with 3 seniors, a junior, and a sophomore in there. That's about as...
Oh, nice pass from Riggs inside the accent, just bounced off the rim there.
That's about as experienced as this team can get. They could put one more senior in if they wanted.
Yeah. 3 of the 4 seniors out there. The only one that's not so far is McGarry, but we'll probably see her by the end of the night. Every player on this varsity team, after Kira Mattis had 5 against Friary Charter, now every player has scored at some point this season. Here's a shot. That is good from 3 by Miller. And that's number 14 on the year for her. Something she's used to at this point. Dakota too high, tried to get it in there to Herman, but put just a little bit too much air and a little bit too much power under it, and Morgan Miller was there to get a relatively easy steal there. As it's Riggs on Riggs, Lauren Riggs on Emily Riggs. Hempfield and Penn Manor. Weaver to Shepos. Back out to Miller, to Shepos, and it doesn't go. And that one will bounce into the sideline, into the knees of Kira Mattis. And Hempfield will take over possession once more. 7-4 though, down early on. Weinhold to Dakota.
Just want to see Hempfield play clean here and get a bucket before the end of the first quarter.
Might be what they try and do. Axe, nice shot, gonna dish it out to Herman, who swishes it. And Sophie Herman, that's now only her 10th point of the season. She hasn't been held on the scoreboard very much, but that was a nice shot. And the steal off of the missed bucket by Miller will end quarter number 1. 7-6 is the score. Low scoring. I don't think quite what we expected coming in. I think we expected Hempfield to come out a little more explosive offensively, and they only had 6 points to 8 minutes of game time. So what do you think the adjustments are?
Well, I think the adjustments is that really they just need to clean up the passing. It seems that these simple 10-foot passes are getting deflected or stolen. They need to make sure they come to the ball to create the separation from the defender and just keep working it around. You saw it, they did an excellent job on that last possession there to free up Sophie Herman for a bucket at moving the ball quickly and cleanly. And if they continue to do that, they should be okay in this match. Defensively, they've really been playing well defensively. They just need to make sure that they close out on the shooter, Morgan Miller, because she did have that 3 that put them up by 2. That put them up by what turned out to be 2 scores.
You know, it's interesting for Penn Manor because, yes, they're 3-6, but when you take a look at this team schedule, they've had 4 league games this year. They beat Conestoga Valley by 12. In their 3 other games, they combined to lose by 15 points to both, or to Ephrata, E-Town, and Lebanon. So, I mean, you flip any one of those games that were all relatively close coming down to the end, and we could be talking about Penn Manor much differently right now, as that shot by Dakota's off, but Cook does a nice job. Johnny on the spot to get the rebound. First time we've seen Oriana Edmond tonight, as she was the leading scorer against Friary Charter. but it's taken away, stolen away by Morgan Miller. Edmond came in for Sophie Herman and Lauren Riggs, as Cook came in her stead. So now again, you've got a little bit of a more younger lineup out there. Still with Dakota in there, and Dakota getting another steal. Down court to Weinhold, who's trying to get some separation, but then dishes it out. And another pass that just doesn't go the right way for Hempfield, trying to get it inside to Oriana Edmond, who is this team's tallest player, but Dakota didn't give him too much of a chance there. Interesting to see so far. Here's Riggs. Inside and in the paint. And just going off the rim is a shot from Ella Hart, but getting the rebound is Miller. And now with Axe on her, see what she can do. Inside again, take two for Hart. Dishes out to Riggs. And from three, it is Shepos that's short. But another rebound, and now here's Miller. That one doesn't go. And Hempfield gets kicked around. You got three people on the ground.
Oh, yeah, that one looked like it hurt. She got rolled up.
Yeah, Bryn Axe got rolled up on there as Edmond went to the ground, and a Penn Manor player also did. And Axe kind of grabbed for that left knee, but thankfully got up pretty quickly. And now she'll sub out. And we'll see who they bring in Hearst.
I think they brought in Lauren Riggs.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, they brought in Riggs in her stead, I was going to say. All righty. Hard-fought game to this point. Shepos out to Miller. Inside to Riggs. Back inside to Hart. And that one doesn't go, and Dakota able to get the rebound. Try to get to Weinhold off the fast break. To the net, and not a foul called. Looks like it was a block there, but Hempfield retains possession as the block went out. Off of the Penn Manor defender.
Two good defensive plays from both teams there.
Nice job there to keep Weinhold from putting the bucket through. Out to Cook. Ooh. Looks like she might have gotten deflected there, so she was trying to get it inside to Edmond in the paint. Now Weinhold taking it around the perimeter. Looking, setting up to Dakota, who tries to drive and gives it away again. Man.
Hempfield really struggling in the paint here. We expected them to be strong on both sides in the paint, really only strong defensively right now.
It's been interesting. Seems like Dakota's forced a lot of passes tonight inside to Edmond. That shot's no good. But the rebound and another one, and who's finally, after didn't go the first time, didn't go the second time, and then Ella Hart finally got fouled the third time. But it seems like Dakota's trying to force a lot of passes tonight inside, and just hasn't worked to this point. That's also.
I agree with you on that one. And I think part of it comes from that. Seems to be Hempfield's game plan going into it is get it down low.
Yeah.
And I think they're kind of sticking to it a little bit because they've had success working the perimeter instead of going. They've had no success down low really tonight.
Yeah, not to this point. Dakota also has 2 fouls on the night so far, and so she'll come out in Axe's stead. So Bryn Axe will come in for her. Not the start that Lindsay Dakota, I'm sure, was hoping for here on the road in Penn Manor. Nice pass inside to Cook. Riggs going to take a shot, and it'll go. And the seniors coming to play tonight. All three of them that have been in have scored. And nice pass inside to Hart there. She was wide open in the middle of the paint. And Penn Manor able to answer right back. Axe. Riggs just squeezes it in there. Axe gets it nearly stolen away, but a nice job by Bryn Axe to stay with it and drive to the bucket to get her first points of the night. And they'll try it again, and that time it doesn't go. Axe.
And now we're starting to see a game plan from Penn Manor is when Hempfield scores a bucket, they're going to go.
Wow, what a steal there from Morgan Miller, but she couldn't quite keep the feet in bounds with Autumn Cook all over her. But Morgan Miller got a great steal there that almost turned into 2 more points for Penn Manor.
This is where it becomes important for Hempfield to control the clock now, because Penn Manor is playing hurry up.
Yeah.
And that's when your team starts getting spun around. You can't find your mark, and then, like we saw earlier, you could give Penn Manor an easy basket. So Hempfield slowing the game down and really dictating the way it's going to go is going to be huge for them.
Yep. Cook.
But they need a bucket and a stop first.
That's priority number 1. Weinhold to Axe, inside to Riggs, back out to Weinhold, who's able to take a stab at it and corral it. Riggs looking to Axe, and Penn Manor, man, they are playing aggressive, trying to get this ball away. Weinhold inside, back to Axe, takes a shot from the free throw line and connects to give Hempfield their first lead in quite a while, first lead of the quarter, and then Cook right in there to try and get the rebound. There's a pushing foul call. And Hempfield able to get the steal. Nice job by Autumn Cook there. And it was Morgan Miller who fouled. Hempfield looks like starting to get their mojo back. Been a bit of a rough start, but they're starting to put some points together. Riggs was open over the middle. Trying to get inside to Edmond, but didn't do it. Looks like they're going to call a travel there, though, on Ella Hart before she could get too far. So Hart able to get the steal, but called for another traveling violation, something we've seen a lot of tonight so far. It's a Cook. And for the first time tonight, Cook from 3, off. And rebounded by Shepos. Pitched out to Emily Riggs. Closely fought game and a quick, fast-paced game. 3:27 to go in the half. That shot doesn't go, and it looks like it'll go off of a Penn Manor player, so Hempfield able to get their possession back. Herman will come in Edmond's stead. And Weinhold will take it up. Axe, Cook, to Riggs, back to Axe. Hempfield trying to get something going inside or from the perimeter. As you said, they really haven't had anything from the perimeter to this point. Or from inside the perimeter, I guess I should say. A lot of their shots have been from maybe just inside the three-point line.
They want them inside the 3-foot line.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what they're going for. And another travel, I'll tell you.
Wow, they're not giving them anything.
They're not. That was on Sophie Herman. I mean, we have seen that 7 or 8 times tonight, seems like, on both sides. Hempfield trying to press. And nice job to corral it by Weaver. Then Miller takes a shot. Weaver gets the rebound. But Herman and Weinhold both there, and it's Weinhold who gets the steal, and another one for her. Here's Cook. Inside to Axe. Back to Weinhold. Herman. Thought. Now going to drive and then pitch it out to her fellow senior friend, Lauren Riggs.
I don't know how that's a travel. I mean, she didn't have possession. And then as soon as she did, she took a dribble.
Yeah, well, I'm as surprised as you are. They've been cracking down, and I've seen it mainly on the Hempfield side. Nice.
There have been a couple bad ones.
There have been. Too. That's true. There's Weinhold though off the fast break, and it just couldn't curl into the rim. Yeah, I agree for both sides. I mean, it's just been interesting to see how this game's been officiated so far from the traveling perspective. Hempfield also already has 5 fouls to their credit, so a few more and they might be in the bonus, but good news for them, there's only 2:11 left in the half. 12-11 is the score. Molly McGarry comes in. The last senior we hadn't seen yet tonight. And it's Weaver trying to get it on her and goes off of bounds, or out of bounds. Not sure if they called it on McGarry there, but regardless, it's Penn Manor's ball.
Coach disliked that one. I don't know if you saw the look she just gave the ref.
Yeah, I don't think I'm not sure if either of the coaches are very happy with the refs right now with some of the calls we've seen so far. And I know it's tough for the refs, and a lot of times you're never going to win as a ref. But tonight, it's been a little interesting to see how this has been officiated. Here's Riggs. And Weidel trying to corral it and just couldn't. Just Weidel used all 5-6 of her to try and get that ball put into it. And now a minute 47 to go. Penn Manor, another chance. This one all the way out to Miller. To Weaver. Makes a nice move. Guarded by McGarry and goes down.
And they called a jump ball.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
Well, I don't think that'll be a jump ball.
That's what he called 2 thumbs up. That's a jump ball.
Nah.
I'm not.
You're right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Here's McGarry taking a shot and just put a little too much on it as she tried to drive through the contact. I'm going to try and get to the bottom of that. Here's Miller. Out to Shepos. Herman guarding. A minute 7, minute 5. Seems like forever since we've seen a bucket to this point.
Yeah.
And nice block by Herman, but unfortunately she couldn't get on it. Penn Manor just seems like they've been pretty dominant as far as possession goes to this point. What we usually think of the hallmark of Hempfield, good passing. Seems like for Penn Manor, it's been the case for them tonight with the aid of some of those Hempfield fouls and traveling calls. As it's Ella Hart who checks in, and Weidel able to keep it in. And then Shepos takes a shot from 3. So Weidel did a nice job of keeping it in, trying to roll it back to one of her teammates, but it was Shepos there. Johnny on the spot to pick it up for the 3. That's a clear foul there on McGarry by Kimmy Miller. Weidel gets it out to McGarry all the way back court. Axe. Inside, Weidel. Trying to work the perimeter with 30 seconds left. McGarry taking a look, trying to spin around. Gets it to Herman, who will look to drive. And Herman put a ton of hair under it. And Miller able to pick it up. And now we'll see. I think Penn Manor, they may hold for this final shot, 14-12. And I think that's what Morgan Miller is signaling with one finger, maybe one more shot. Trying to set up for it. 5 to go. 3, 2, 1. Miller to Hart to end it and got it! At the buzzer to end the half, and Penn Manor. That'll actually be called as 2, it looks like, because it was just inside the line.
Oh no, they put another one
You're
out.
right. Yeah, it was a scoreboard error there. We couldn't quite tell. I thought I saw it from 3. What a way to end the half there. Ella Hart able to connect from 3 for only the 3rd time this season. Couldn't have asked for a better time to do it. And Colson, this Hempfield team, they're back on their heels right now. It seems like, blame it on the traveling calls, the strict traveling calls, or the fouls, whatever you want. Hempfield just hasn't looked like themselves so far tonight.
That's true, and really, officiating aside, Hempfield has not done well offensively possessing the ball, which is really what we've been saying they need to do since the start. They need to possess the ball and control the game. Now their game plan changes a little bit. They might have to go hurry up and expect to see some more full court press. And Hempfield's going to try to get as many points as they can, as fast as they can. And then really the key for them is to slow down Penn Manor, who is on a hot streak right now.
And Penn Manor has been all over the ball defensively too. So those are the storylines we'll watch as we start half number 2. For my producer Lance Kim, my colleague Colson Hunt, I'm Kasey Kreider. You're watching HSD TV7's coverage of girls basketball here in the new decade, and we'll be back in just a little bit for half number 2. And hi everybody, welcome back to the Penn Manor Gymnasium. Black Knights taking on the Comets here. Girls basketball action, and we've got a bit of an upset brewing here. At the Penn Manor High School, the host Comets are up 5 over the Black Knights at halftime. And Hempfield, let's just put it simply, did not play very well that first half. A lot of turnovers, some traveling fouls, which we talked about in the first half, but just overall, pretty sloppy play, and they haven't been able to get anything going in the paint so far, which has been a big struggle. Meanwhile, for Penn Manor, they had that big three-point shot at the end of the half from the senior Ella Hart, and they also had another from Morgan Miller earlier on. And just overall, it seems like they've controlled the ball better to this point. As that was Steffes taking it, or Shepos dishing it out to Hart there. But Colson, I'm curious, I mean, for Hempfield, I'm sure there were a lot of adjustments, a lot of things to be reminded of for these girls at halftime, but it's one thing to say it, it's another thing to do it. How can Hempfield come back?
Really just, I think communication is going to be huge here, because usually when you have a lot of turnovers, it's because your mouths aren't open, you're not talking to each other, you don't know where the other person is going to be. And really, you all have to function as one player, one unit out there.
Yeah.
And so opening your mouth is the first step, and talking, calling for the ball, calling help, calling, I got it, whatever you need to do to make sure you keep the ball.
Lindsay Dakota got fouled on the way up there, and Hempfield will come to the line for the first time tonight. Holding foul there called on Riggs. And Dakota sinks the first one. She was 67% shooting from the line coming into the night. She'll add to that a little bit.
And communication defensively is also key, as Dakota sinks the second free throw there. Oh, a double dribble call.
Yeah. Say, these refs are not letting anything slide tonight. We've documented that in the first half, all the traveling calls. It's been a very strictly officiated game to this point.
Yeah,
and you can't help but wonder if that's part of the reason for the low score. Go on, Colson.
For Hempfield defensively, communication is also going to be key, because Penn Manor has scored 3 three-pointers so far in this game, 2 right in a row at the end of the half.
Yeah.
And that's because Hempfield's not rotating quickly enough. They're not getting out to the shooter. And sometimes we've seen a couple breakdowns in defense where there's just a wide-open player under the basket for an easy layup. And Hempfield needs to eliminate that and make sure they know what they're doing defensively, too.
Yeah. Here's Riggs going to try and drive, take a shot, goes into the backboard off the side of it. And then Riggs able to get her own rebound and dish it out to Sydney Shepos for the bucket to extend the lead back to 5. I don't know if I've seen that one in a while. And Hempfield takes a timeout, 30-second timeout for them. So call it a stalemate here based off what we had at halftime over the first minute, 42 seconds. We'll just have to wait and see. I'll tell you, we talked about, and I know the one thing I mentioned to you in the open was Hempfield can't overlook this Comets team because of the 2 big games they have next week. That can't be an excuse for them. They've got to find a way to pull this one out, take care of business. Because if they don't, sure, those games will still be big, and if they win those games, that'll be big, but they'll lose a lot of momentum with a loss tonight, no doubt about that.
Yeah, and really, Hempfield's in control of their own destiny here. They will stay tied for first with a win tonight. If they lose tonight, they start to lose some of that control over their destiny. And late in the season, that might come into a big effect.
Might come back to bite them, Weinhold got pushed down there by Miller. Just Weinhold's been all over the ball tonight, it seems like. Didn't see a lot of Lauren Moffitt in that first half, but she's out there, as are the rest of the starting 5 from tonight. And Dakota makes a nice move to get to the bucket, and I'm sure maybe nobody in this gymnasium wanted to go to the locker room to halftime more than Lindsay Dakota did after the first half that she had. But she's coming out trying to make amends for it now. She's got all the points for Hempfield so far in this second half. And Manor with a chance to answer in a 3-point game. Hart. Looking. Getting it with a bounce to Shepos with Moffitt in coverage. Nice bounce pass from Shepos inside to Riggs, but Dakota and Cook both there.
That jump ball is awarded to Hempfield there after Penn Manor got the ball to start the half.
So that is the officiating for those calls. And we've seen a couple of them so far tonight. They might come in handy. These girls have been fighting for that ball and opportunities. Penn Manor's been all over it. Hempfield's been all over it. And Dakota just put a little bit too much. Moffitt was there in the paint, but trying to get it over the rest of the Penn Manor defense, led by that senior Ella Hart, just put a little bit too much height on it, and not even the 5'10" Moffitt could take a stab at it.
And here we see a three-quarter court press from Hempfield, putting a little bit of pressure on the Comets to get the ball up the court.
What a turnaround this could be for the Comets if they can pull out a win tonight. But a 5-second violation there on Miller. First we've seen of that tonight. And that'll give it right back to Hempfield. So Black Knights have probably, I'd assume by their own admission, not played their best game to this point. But now, as Cook got it taken away there by Miller, but Jess Weinel able to get back on top of it. But still, despite all that, it's a 3-point game. And Axe gets tripped up again. And they wind up calling a travel there on the fall. I'm not sure there's much Axe could have done about that one, though. And Penn Manor will get another opportunity. I get the sense that Coach Merrifield is not too happy with these refs, the way this has been officiated tonight. It's just been a strictly officiated thing, but hey, rules are the same for both sides, and you got to make the best you can with it.
That's true.
Riggs, inside, Shepos, Miller. Gonna reverse course now. Get it to Miller, inside. Hart trying to drive, and gets there. Penn Manor just able to keep this advantage at a steady 3 to 5 points. And every chance Hempfield's had to answer, just haven't quite been able to do it. Moffitt thought about backing in, instead tosses to Weinhold, and now Moffitt gonna lay it up there, nice. Pretty drive to the basket by Lauren Moffitt, and her first points of the night come on that one. Back to a 3-point game. Here's a shot. Not quite from 3, but it doesn't go regardless. And getting the rebound is Axe. And then a holding foul called against Emily Riggs. Already third foul of the half for Penn Manor. Hempfield hasn't fouled yet to this point. That could be something to watch later on if you get down in the bonus. We got close to that in half number 1. Didn't quite get there, but Penn Manor hoping that's not the case here. It has been a fast-paced game to this point. We're already down to the 3:38 mark of the third quarter.
Gotta get it across the half.
Yeah, gotta get it out there. Cook does a nice job getting it to Dakota, who passes inside to Weinhold, putting it up off the rim. Nice rebound by Axe. Brent Axe has had a great night to this point. And a great pass inside to Dakota. Moffitt gets the rebound, tries to put it up, and got fouled on the way there.
And these are 2 huge foul shots Moffitt's going to have here to try to bring it within 1.
Moffitt is 56% from the line so far in the season. 18 to 32. To cut it down inside 3. That one doinks its way through. Back to 2. Hempfield trying to get back in it. That one goes off the rim. Weinhold to Cook. Boland for the rebound. And it was Shepos who tried to get it over to Riggs and ended up hitting her in the face. And the ball went out off of her, and it's Hempfield's ball.
That's a break for Hempfield.
Yeah.
Let's see if they can capitalize
Big break.
on it here.
Here's Cook. That's that open look from 3. Can she sink it? Yes, she can. I'll tell you what. Winter might have started, but autumn is still in full bloom. How about that one?
That is some guts from the freshman. 2 defenders in her face, still putting up a 3 to take the lead. And man, Hempfield desperately needed that shot to go to give them finally some breathing room, even though it's still a 1-point game. Hempfield's brought it back from 5.
Cook couldn't connect on her first one from the night, but you just had a feeling she wasn't going to go the whole night without being able to connect. That one from just inside is off by Miller, but touched out by Hempfield. So Penn Manor gets a bit of a break there. They'll retain possession. And that one taken away. Nice block. As Miller tried to drive through Britt Axe, and she said, and got the steal. Out to Cook, to Dakota. Over the middle to Axe. And trying to get it in there to Cook. Yeah, just a little bit. Miller was able to read it nicely. And looks like there's a timeout there taken by Penn Manor. But Hempfield able to bring it back on this 6-point run that has now taken the lead. Obviously bolstered by that made three-pointer by Autumn Cook.
You know, it makes me wonder, Kasey, the way Hempfield's been playing so far this quarter. If maybe they were looking ahead in the first half to next week where they have those important games. But you think at halftime maybe Coach Merrifield gave him a nice little pep talk and said, hey, we got to take care of business here. We do not want to go down to this team that should not be ahead of us by 5 right now. So Hempfield seeming to get going and get on a roll here.
No doubt. They've outscored the Comets 10-4 this quarter, and these are the games you just got to find a way to pull out. Even if it's not pretty, these are games you just have to win if you're going to make a run at any sort of a championship. And I feel like Hempfield's still playing with that mentality that they have something to prove. Maybe not to themselves, but to everyone else. And a win tonight, followed by a win or two next week, would go a long way to doing that. But first, it's all about tonight. Here's Hart. Up, and there were a lot of bodies there, and ultimately, it bounces back to Miller, who took a shot from 3. Weaver gets the rebound. Third shot doesn't go. And travel on Dakota.
I think that one might be okay.
That one's a little,
Her pivot foot, I think, slipped just a couple inches.
Yeah, that one's a little more justifiable. I was going to say the same thing as they were all fighting down there, but Penn Manor took shot after shot and just finally didn't get the rebound, but got a little help as Weaver tried to drive through Cook, and we're going to have a jump ball again here, or a held ball, and that one will be awarded to Penn Manor. It alternates, so whoever got the last one obviously won't get the next one, to try and keep it as fair as they can. Here's Hart. Inside, nice pass, taking a shot from just inside is Miller, but it's short, and Dakota able to get the rebound.
And now we're seeing Hempfield's defense close out the shooters much faster, and everything's been contested, especially on that position where there were about 6 shots taken.
Moff driving and gets the foul call on Ella Hart. And that's what you want to see from the girls up front, using their height to their advantage there and calling those shots, making you have to foul them, basically. And Ella Hart's pretty tall too, but it was Moffitt able to draw it that time. And the first sunk free throw puts the Black Knights up now by 2. For 3. Goes. So Moffitt 3 for 4 on the night, shooting from the free throw line. That's their 5th point of the night.
I believe that gives Hempfield their biggest lead of the night.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think they've had more than a 2-point lead, and that was very early on. Here's a shot. This from 3, and it goes to tie it.
And that quickly it's gone.
Yeah. Shepos, who also had 2 threes coming into the night, now she's got her 3rd. 24 all. A minute 09 to go, and a travel on Dakota. God, I feel like Hempfield, in particular, I know we've seen it go both ways, but Hempfield in particular probably feel like they just can't catch a break with those traveling calls. And that was Axe to make up for it. Get in front of Shepos and Cook. Out to Axe, who puts it back to Dakota, a little short, but Moffitt there to clean it up. Again, still doesn't go. Wino gets it this time. It still doesn't go, and finally, Axe says, all right, let's get out of here. And it's picked off inside by Shepos. Hempfield not able to come away with points there despite multiple shots on the bucket. And now Hart for the lead, got it. And all of a sudden, it's the Comets on a 5-0 run. Coming to the end of the third with maybe one shot to go. 15 seconds, and we'll see if Hempfield holds. Weidel sees a chance to drive inside Moffitt. And ball fought for, and now Penn Manor's gonna have a chance. Miller off the break. Blocked by Axe. Whoa, go! Rebound was not fielded cleanly by Riggs, and that might have cost Penn Manor 2 points there at the end of the third quarter. Regardless, they go on a big run to end quarter number 3, 26-24, entering the fourth and final frame. Pretty intense ending there to quarter number 3, and now I guess this is the last huge opportunity, I guess, that Coach Merrifield has to try and instill some adjustments here for this fourth quarter run. We saw a different Hempfield team. They put up as many points as they did the entire first half in just that third quarter alone. But Penn Manor, for the most part, was able to keep pace with them.
It's interesting to see the fight that both of these teams have shown from behind, because, I mean, Hempfield obviously with a 5-point lead and then, or a 5-point deficit, and then the 3-point lead, and both teams showed tremendous fight and really scrap on defense.
Yeah.
Because we've seen now both teams have a bunch of shots right under the bucket that have been fended off by the defense. And it's really interesting to see who's going to come out with like a substantial momentum and substantial lead.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, who knows? Could it be? I mean, it could just be one made three-pointer or one, steal and then points off a fast break. I mean, that could be all it takes to really shift the momentum in this game. Hempfield had to hurry out there as they started the ready for play. They were still in the huddle. They had to break it quickly and run out on the court to avoid a violation, a 10-second violation. That was close for the Black Knights. Weidel to Dakota, who drives to the net, off the side of the rim, and that'll be another jump ball.
That's a go to Hempfield.
That will go to Hempfield, or will it? Yeah. Well, no, it'll go to Penn Manor.
Oh, Hempfield got the ball to start the third quarter.
That's why. All right. I was thinking the same thing for a second. I was like, hold on, it should be Hempfield ball, right? But yeah, that's right. They did get to start quarter number 4. So I'm falling apart here. 7:30 to go. So a good break for Penn Manor there. Miller looking, trying to cut inside, and does, but it doesn't go. And right there for the rebound is Dakota, as Shepos was crowded at the net. Dakota trying to direct traffic, gets it back to Axe, then back to Cook. They get it across midcourt. And now inside, Dakota from just inside the line, doesn't go, and who's got it?
That one should go to Hempfield.
That will go to Hempfield, yeah. Jess Weinold was in there fighting for it. For Hempfield, like we've seen all night and all season. Now she'll have the opportunity on the inbound pass, out to Moffitt. Cook. You always gotta keep an eye on Cook when she gets an open look from 3. That wasn't entirely open, but maybe one she would have considered taking. But didn't. Instead, passes inside, and yeah, nice job by Dakota getting it to Moffitt. There's that open look, and it just goes off the rim, but a nice rebound by Weinold.
There's another.
And that's another. Unfazed, and that one doesn't go. So Cook tried twice, couldn't get it either time, and now a foul called off the break as Hart was sprinting with Weinold right on her. And that's a blocking foul on Jess Weinold. That is Hempfield's first foul of this half. They went the entire third quarter without committing a foul.
That's
after they had 6 and half one.
Now they have a couple they can give now. If there's a fast break or something, rather take a foul and make them make free throws or even foul them early.
That's a luxury Penn Manor doesn't have. They've got 5 fouls to their credit.
Yeah.
So they're 2 away from the bonus. And Comets will take their second timeout. So no points since the last timeout, but we've gotten a little closer look at each of these teams, and man, if not for the missed threes by Adam Cook, Hempfield would be in a position to take the lead right now, but obviously it's got to be more than just that for this Hempfield offense. What are you looking at right now? What matchups do you think Hempfield can take advantage of?
I think Lindsay Dakota has come alive in the second half. She was really quiet in the first half.
Yeah.
Like she only had one bucket, and it was the first one of the game.
Yeah.
But she's come alive, and she's become aggressive and physical down in the paint, where Hempfield really needed to find some production. So I think you look to her. I really think maybe some senior substitutions are necessary right now, because Lauren Riggs is a great defender. Not super strong offensively, but defensively is very strong.
That's
She's
always been a
locked
prowess.
down- She's locked down her man tonight. And so maybe add that one extra defensive player. And she's strong passing too, so she still works into the offense.
Yes.
Or Sophie Herman is a similar player.
Yeah.
And so maybe get some more experience in there, and sure enough.
Yeah, you
Lauren
called
Riggs
it.
comes in.
Riggs will come in Cook's stead. Out here looking like Tony Romo.
As an Eagles fan, that pains me.
I
I'll
know.
take the compliment.
Shot from three, doesn't go from Hart, but she couldn't get it again. Here's another one from Miller that she drained. Well, that's a big momentum swing, and that's been, I was going to ask you next, the advantage Penn Manor can take advantage, or the matchup they can take advantage of. That's been what they've taken advantage of all night long. Man, so now Hempfield's got to find a way to answer. And as you said, they don't have that pure three-point shooter now, Cook, in the game. They've gone with more of a maybe defensive / passing offense. Heavy attack, and Dakota able to say, all right, that's no problem. We can play that way too. And she puts it through to get it back to a three-point game. 5:25 to go. Dakota now has 8 on the night. And after the quiet first half,
A carry call.
a what?
A carry, I think.
Oh, my apologies, just couldn't hear you there. But I was, that's what it looks like. A lot of fouls tonight, or a lot of penalties tonight, I guess you could call them. Don't see that one very often, though. Axe. Fighting for it. Pass to Riggs, who tries to drive. And she got knocked on the ground.
And the timeout got away.
Yeah,
right
yeah,
in the nick of
timeout.
time.
Saves it there for Hempfield. And it's a three-point game, and this is just the hard-fought battle I think we've come to expect at this point, Colson. Have to see, and maybe not the hard-fought battle we were expecting coming in, but that's what we've been treated to tonight, and give Penn Manor a ton of credit. You know, being a 3-6 team, a lot of people probably wrote them off for dead. They were dead to their rights, and now all of a sudden they're coming in against one of the teams tied for first in Section 1, and they're making them earn everything tonight, still with a 3-point lead.
Yeah, Hempfield, now it's interesting. They have time to draw up a play. They got something going. They don't have Autumn Cook in the game right now, so it looks like they're going to settle for twos unless.
Yeah. Same personnel.
And I think they're going with Lindsay Dakota. They're going to try to free her up down low.
Yeah. We'll see. Axe taking a look. Britt Axe is also pretty good shooting tonight, and there's a holding call against Miller, her third of the game. So Hempfield with a chance. Line on the inbound to Dakota, across court to Axe. Axe, Weinel, taking a look, now driving all the way, putting it up, but putting a little too much on it. Hempfield able to get the rebound as Lauren Moffitt kind of punched it back to her fellow underclassman, Britt Axe. Here's Moffitt in a fight for it. And Moffitt, nice block there by Shepos. But Hempfield still able to keep possession some way, somehow. Riggs taking a look to Weinel. Inside, Dakota in a fight for it. Trying to drive and putting it up there.
That's a strong bucket.
That's what we've seen all season for Dakota.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, man! Moffitt gets it to give Hempfield a lead.
Lauren Moffitt snuck in there and
Oh, man!
stole the inbounds pass.
That's something you don't see every day. What the awareness by Moffitt, and then what a block by Britt Axe. Riggs gets it out to Lionel, out to Dakota. Hempfield, man, oh man. What a couple of 30 seconds or so that was. But then Lionel gets called for a travel, taking it up. Man.
That may be the first little real careless error Penn Manor's had this quarter. Just a little laziness maybe on what should be an easy inbounds pass. Didn't see Lauren Moffitt, who really just stuck a hand out and jabbed it away.
Moffitt out there trying to do jumping jacks to get another steal. This one, shot just inside, doesn't go by Shepos, and acts on the rebound. Out to Lionel, Dakota. Now playing with a 1-point lead, and Hempfield will be granted another timeout. Man.
Coach Merrifield's furious right now with the officiating, as she was halfway on the court calling timeout, begging for it.
Yeah. Finally got it there as they got it across. 3:12 to go. It's a 1-point Hempfield lead, 30-29. Man. Well, first basketball game we did, it was a boys game against Conestoga Valley. That one came down to a buzzer beater. I'm not a prophet or anything, but we could be coming for something similar here tonight.
I think Hempfield's going to take their time in this timeout to draw up another play that'll score them points. So hopefully we don't have to see that.
Try and get it.
Beater.
Try and get it to a 2-possession game here, maybe coming down to the end. Points have been relatively hard to come by. That's been kind of the MO of Hempfield's season. They haven't always been known to put up those big points totals that we're maybe used to. They're usually winning a lot of close, relatively low-scoring games, and this is another example of that. Can the Black Knights hang on and keep in a tie for first place in Section 1?
Really, this is an interesting game for the Black Knights because they haven't had that many close games in the end.
That's true.
They've only had a couple. Like you mentioned at the start of the broadcast, they lost to Wilson, and they brought that one. That one was close. They have one 3-point win. Everything else is, almost everything else is double digits, win or lose for them. So it's interesting to see how they're going to fare in a tight game like this.
Yeah, can they
now they have the momentum.
open it up, and Moff got fouled again. Lauren Moffitt draws her third foul of the night. 3 of 4 shooting, and she'll have a chance to make it 5 of 6 at least. And now Hempfield is in the bonus. Alrighty. Big free throws here from Lauren Moffitt. First one just bounces off the rim and out. She'll get one more chance at it. And Manor trying to make some noise here on our side. Will it get to Moffitt? Not that time. Good from that one. 2-point lead.
That's tough for a freshman who hasn't played at this
What
level.
a steal by Dakota!
Oh, watch out.
Oh, look out!
Again.
Oh, man, Moffitt gave it right back.
Wow, that's
and there's
way downtown.
Wow! Shot from way downtown. There was a lot going on there, as it was Miller who has just pretty much been on fire shooting tonight, but she took one from way downtown.
And she really tried to draw the foul there for 3 foul shots, and the refs didn't award it to her.
Yeah, and fell hard too. Inside, Hart out, and here's another shot for the lead. Got it! Wow! Morgan Miller.
Really, if I'm Hempfield this late in the game, I'm almost considering playing an NBA-style type of defense on Miller and almost singling her out.
I'm curious, with 2 minutes to go, does, and if so, when, would they consider subbing in Autumn Cook, their shooter, who now has a dozen three-pointers on the season, because it might come down to that. Dakota trying to get to the foul and does.
Well, what I'm saying is, like, a lot of times with Steph Curry and the Warriors, teams on defense late in the game will take him to a corner and just hold him in the corner, almost not physically, but just guard him in the corner so he can't go anywhere.
Now you wonder if they can do the same approach on either Miller or Hart, who have had big nights for this Black Knights team, both double-digit points totals. Evelyn Weaver comes in place of Kimmy Miller. And I don't see Hempfield getting ready to sub anyone back in, be it Cook or anybody else. That one goes to give Hempfield the lead. So Dakota able to make both of her foul shots to put Hempfield back in front, and there's another one. It's like a pushing foul there called on Dakota. First third of the night. Coming down to maybe a classic here in Penn Manor. And if Hempfield can pull it out, it'll be one they'll look back on and say this is a crucial win at our point in the season. Same goes for Penn Manor. Shepos has been trying to connect all night, has 8 points tonight. So she's had an impact. But she's taken a couple shots from three tonight that haven't gone, and you'll have to wonder if they consider bringing her back in that opportunity. And she's on the court right now.
Just swarming.
Yeah. And there's a violation, 5-second violation on Hart. Just as she was getting ready to throw it in on the inbound pass, she lost track of the time.
It does look like Hempfield's putting a one-on-one mark on Miller with Weinhold.
Yeah.
And there it worked out. They couldn't get the ball in bounds.
Axe trying to get back on it, and Hempfield will take a timeout. Maybe right in the nick of time again as Axe got tripped up there. A minute 23 to go. And a 1-point Hempfield lead, 33-32. They are in the bonus. While the Penn Manor Comets are not. They got a long way to go to get there. So that could have a big difference coming down to the end in these final 83 seconds. Man. Can't help but wonder, though, what the mindset is for both these teams. Penn Manor knowing this would be a big win at home to really get the new year started off right, and all that league play coming up. And for Hempfield, well, we've talked about it multiple times tonight. This is one that they just got to take care of business of. Don't want to fall to 6-5 with matchups coming against the two best teams in Section 1. If those all go the wrong way, Hempfield could wind up with a losing record by this time next week if they don't pull it out tonight. So these are just the games you gotta win. Alrighty. 33-32. 83 seconds on the clock.
Hempfield with only one timeout left, too. That could come in.
That could. They used a lot of them so far. Why not on the inbound or Dakota? And I'd say if you're Hempfield, you consider trying to choose some clock here, but then you'd also...
Absolutely right.
The other thing, though, is you also, if you don't get a bucket out of it, then you give Penn Manor a chance to go down and win it with a 2. So it's a risky game to play. One it looks like they're trying to employ right now is Weinhold.
Smart play on
Weaver, yeah. Nice play there by Jess Weinhold. Make it go off of Evelyn Weaver's foot and out of bounds, as we are 0.3 of a second inside a minute to play. To the backcourt for Riggs. Looking to get it out of there, and does. To Dakota as it goes out. I think actually Dakota stayed off of it there, as the pass was a little errant from Riggs.
Hempfield is chewing a lot of clock. They're 30 seconds through it.
Go with the elevator look. Inside, Dakota puts it way up there. Axe does a nice job getting the rebound. Ball's on the ground. Inside, Moffitt can't get it. Penn Manor's got it back and gets tripped up.
And there's that foul that Hempfield can afford to give.
That's true.
Smart play there.
That's true. Good play there by Moffitt in hindsight. I don't know. Maybe that's what she was going for, maybe not. And now here comes Autumn Cook back in the game. She will come in Riggs' stead. So with 41.9 seconds to go, keep an eye on number 21 if it comes down to it. Now Penn Manor will call time. Goodness gracious. Well, I think we're getting that nail biter, Colson.
Yeah, we are.
I don't know. Maybe it's just a you and I thing, but this is.
I was gonna say
we've had some barn burners so far. Ironically, both road games for Hempfield. But let's see. Boys team plays at home tonight against Penn Manor. They're trying to turn their season around, sitting at 3-7. This girls team is trying to stay at the top of the heap in Section 1. It's interesting when you look at the section races. Cedar Crest got a win the other night. They now sit at 8-4 overall, undefeated in league play. Hempfield, a win tonight would put them at 7-4 overall. Loss would put them at 6-5. Manheim Township actually has as many wins, actually a better win percentage than both those teams, but they dropped one of their league games early in the year. They're 8-2 overall, but lost one of their league games. So they're still very much in the thick of it, but they're a rung below the Black Knights and the Falcons to this point. Right now, though, it's all about the Black Knights and the Comets. And here we go. Try to drive and out of bounds. And Miller can't believe it.
That is a huge stand for Hempfield.
Oh, man. Huge stand and maybe a huge mistake. They had subbed Riggs back in for that series. Now they bring Cook back in.
Yeah, they want offensive power now.
Yeah.
They need the defense.
And Cook, gotta be careful. Cook stumbled on the ground, and that's a, let's see, called a jump ball, I believe.
Merrifield says she has timeout called. And it's not awarded.
Oh, it's not. Merrifield wants it big time, not gonna get it, and she's hot.
She's got to be careful here.
All right. Well, now they will sub Riggs back in Cook's stead. Riggs on defense, Cook on offense. 1 point lead trying to be preserved by the Black Knights. And now Penn Manor will get a timeout. So Hempfield kind of gets the timeout they were asking for, but a little bit too late. For their sake, they don't have possession anymore. Man, I'll tell you what. Coming down to this one, and you know, I feel like we've covered a lot of the bases tonight, a lot of the points. I think now we just become fans and we watch it all unfold for these final 27 seconds. Penn Manor trying to pull an upset. Hempfield playing for a lot here.
Hempfield's got to be careful not to foul on a jump shot or something like that, or even worse, a three-point shot.
Yeah. That would be almost killer.
Sending Penn Manor to the line could be a nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
And they also have to make sure they secure a rebound if Penn Manor can get a shot off.
All righty. Comes to this. Dakota trying to pick off the inbound pass. Couldn't do it. Clock is a-ticking. And
that's a great ball foul on the floor.
Yeah. And Penn Manor keeps possession. The foul was on Weinold. 20.5 seconds to go.
Weinold's not even looking at the ball. She's just looking at Miller, making sure Miller doesn't get the ball.
Oh boy, fight for it. Travel called on Hempfield. As Weinold got the steal, but they call a travel on her as she was unable to really get back on her feet.
Another timeout call. Oh boy.
Oh my goodness. You know, whoever wins this game, it's going to be a gritty win, statement win. This is exactly what you expect and you hope to see in high school basketball, and these girls are putting it all out there. Who are you looking at for each side these final 18 seconds, Colson?
Well, if you're Penn Manor, you have to look at, you have to go to Morgan Miller, even though she's got a goal marked up. But for Hempfield, you do have to be careful. That might be what Penn Manor is drawing up, is to take all the attention and put it all on Miller, and then maybe free up someone that you're not expecting to get the ball. Hempfield really doesn't have to score another basket. They have to get the ball, maintain possession, maybe call timeout as soon as you get the ball, so you can get it up the court and just really run the clock out. Maybe get a last-second shot that won't end up mattering in the end.
That's all you can really hope for.
But defense is crucial right now, and you have to believe that Hempfield has the best defensive lineup they can in right now.
Oh, no doubt. Yep, Riggs is in there. along with the rest of the starting four. Inside, that one's blocked! Riggs trying to fight for it. Who do they give it to? It's a jump ball. That should go to Hempfield.
And there
Crucial stop.
That is fantastic coaching from Coach Millersville.
And that's exactly why they brought Lauren Riggs in there.
And now right out again as Hempfield has the ball on offense.
Now it's Cook's turn to play.
Excuse me.
Weidel's got to be careful. Get it inbound, playing a press, and now they foul. They foul on Dakota, and that'll bring her to the line to try.
Making these free throws is actually humongous for them.
Huge.
If she makes both, you can't really win it. You can only tie it.
Yeah, not in regulation at least.
That's true.
But this is crucial.
And really, I think he sent probably the best foul shooter to the line here.
Well, Dakota would be in that conversation. She puts it down with one more to go. One more shot for Lindsay Dakota, who had a shoddy first half. Second half, she's come alive. For the dagger, maybe. Got it. All right. Penn Manor's got 14 seconds. They need a three.
Hempfield's got to get set up here. They're a little
discombobulated. That goes through the hands. Moffitt trying to get the rebound. Does it. Weinelt. Game, set, match. Hempfield survives. Wow.
I can breathe now.
Oh, man. It was not pretty by any definition, but it's a W that Hempfield will get to eat tonight and all the way through the weekend. 35-32, the final score. Great defensive performance from what is becoming a vaunted Hempfield defense. Penn Manor gave them all they could handle, and they had them lost in that first half, but the second half, Black Knights came alive. Goodness gracious. Colson, what are your thoughts on what we just saw?
I really think we saw great hustle, effort, and I think I said this earlier, but scrappiness from both defenses. And then at the end, we just see Hempfield maybe with a little bit more experience than Penn Manor. They were able to just show the mental toughness. Like Penn Manor had a chance at the end, but ended up throwing the ball away. And that just comes with, their three leading scorers are sophomores.
Yeah.
They're a younger team, and I'm sure they'll develop as the season goes on and as those young players' careers go on. As for Hempfield, just tremendous toughness and grit to come from behind and end up winning this one in the last minute, in the last 20 seconds.
They had to have an incredible stand there to hang on, and they did. Black Knights improved to 7-4, and now it's time for those two showdowns next week, both at home. One versus the Falcons, one versus the Blue Streets. Penn Manor will fall to 3-7 on the season. What a win for the Black Knights. For my producer, Lance Kim, colleague Colson Hunt, you just watched a great girls basketball game on HST TV 7, and we will be back very soon as this season is starting to really heat up for the girls basketball team. We'll see you in the second half of the year.